Happy birthday.
I know. 35 again.
35. Unbelievable.
I keep hitting it.
Birthday boy for Catalana.
Oh, and I'm back in Jersey,
Yeah.
spending it with Dan. Look at that.
Reasons and excuses we talk about.
Yeah.
There have been reasons for the struggles the last two games. It's on Joe Brady to make adjustments to the offensive game plan. I think it gets back to running the ball more.
I know you said that. You're on team run game now. You see the value in the run game.
And then it's just giving Josh Allen simple throws.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel presented by Connors and Ferris, Mike Catalano, along with Dan Fates. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are here in Jersey, getting
Beautiful
set.
Jersey.
It is for the Bills and the Jets. Monday Night Football again. We're going to show you and talk about 5 players to watch. Now, normally when we do this,
Yep,
we just skip over 17.
that is correct.
Because it's always about Josh. And I said to you, you know what? This week, it is something for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The team they're playing, the game he's coming off of,
Yeah.
all of the talk about his weapons. This is a big game for Josh.
Yeah, and it's placed that as we stand in front of the most boring brand new stadium in the NFL. He's called this place a house of horrors. We were all here last year, week 1. Josh was very adamant that he played like shit and trying to get over that hump. So yeah, this week he goes from being the favorite to win the MVP a few weeks ago to having one of the worst games of his career last week. It has to even out. And players around him, weapons around him or not, we need to see Josh have success, or want to see. The Bills need to see it to get back on track.
There is a sense that the Jets have sort of had his number.
Yes.
He's had a couple of good games against them, not really here. You got to go back a few years. And this team has struggled offensively,
Yeah.
even when they had more weapons,
Yeah.
whatever they had on this team. What do you think the key is for Allen and for Brady in this game? Because I don't know if this is either one of these teams looks equipped to score 30 points right now.
Well, when you said, what does Josh Allen need? I was going to say Joe Brady to get back in his bag. Joe Brady to get back to giving Josh Allen those freebies. Now, it's also on Josh to take them. So you can draw up a good play, but as I've said before, play calling is very hard in the NFL. And once the ball is snapped, it's not on Joe Brady, it's not on Sean McDermott, it's on 17 to make the smart plays. I think reasons and excuses we talk about,
Yeah.
there have been reasons for the struggles the last two games. It's on Joe Brady to make adjustments to the offensive game plan. I think it gets back to running the ball more.
I know you said that. You're on team run game now. You see the value in the run game.
And then it's just giving Josh Allen simple throws to kind of get into a rhythm, because we haven't seen this offense in a rhythm much this last 2 weeks. They had rhythm before a trick play, which killed momentum, but just to find something to kind of spice up. And maybe that's Josh with his legs.
Yeah.
And maybe, and I know it's the ankle has popped up on the injury report and he's taken big hits, but he's taken big hits when he's trying to throw the ball. When he's been running, he's been smart, he's been sliding, he's done all of the right things. It's now just getting to find ways to get this offense going.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time with people. They're like they were so scared of Josh running the ball. I feel like when he's running it, he's in control.
Yes.
When he's in the pocket, he is vulnerable. When he's going out of bounds trying to chuck the ball, he is vulnerable. When they call a stupid trick play, he is vulnerable. That's what ends up happening to him. Okay, so
Also, no concussion. The NFL reviewed the protocols of concussion from that game. Everything checked out. Everything.
No. I talked to a bunch of friends of mine who are all, I didn't realize they were all medical doctors.
Neurologists, actually. Independent.
Yes, they all figured it out.
Yeah.
And there's a massive conspiracy going on to keep him on the field.
So let's move on. There is no concussion. He's not in concussion protocol. He has taken some big hits. There's been no issues with his head.
Move on.
Move on.
Sticking
Move
with
on.
the offense. And the reason I'm
Move
going
on.
to bring up this player is not specifically about him, but I think he's a leader there. And I think this offensive line needs to play better. And I'm going to put this on Deion Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
The reason on Deion is Deion will basically say, I will lay down my life for Josh Allen. He loves Josh. He is his protector. And he despises the New York Jets.
Yes.
So I think this is a game for Deion to set a tone
Yep.
for the entire offensive line to say the O-line can win this game for the Bills.
Yeah, all pro Schno needs to show up today. And like you said, it's not, I understand he's only doing his 1/5 of the offensive line, but it's the mentality that I think Sean McDermott wants to see about controlling the line of scrimmage. We've been here before.
Yeah.
And you're kind of filming on the sidelines, and players do interact. It was Diggs last year looking right in the camera saying, like, where else would you rather be? Like, Deion's had these moments where even when they've beaten the Jets, I remember the Mike White game when Milano almost broke him in half.
Yeah.
The fact of, like, this team always gives us games. And to set the tempo early on, again, I think
Run the ball.
Deion can be a force in that. Pull Deion, get Deion going on traps, like things like that to set the tone. Because while it wasn't necessarily personal with Diggs, you guys disagreed with personal with Diggs and Allen in that Houston game.
Yeah.
It's personal with Deion because you're literally lining up against the guys that you have called out on podcasts during the offseason that
What did
you
he
don't
say?
like them.
They're just
They're in it for
Instagram posers.
Yes.
They take
Yes.
the pictures. They just want to be on Instagram.
There is
which
that fraternity,
hilarious.
and there is no love between these two teams.
None.
There's some respect. It's way more hate than it is respect.
Yeah, Deion's been open about it, so go ahead, show him in
Go
this
ahead.
game. Yeah, in terms of that. Let's talk about the Bills' defense in this case. We keep waiting. I mean, I was taking a victory lap week 1 when Greg Rousseau had 3 sacks. I say he was going to have double digits. He could still end up at double-digit
Sure.
sacks. Got to get moving. You know, Vaughn is on his suspension.
Yep.
Let the team down, no question. They're without him. The other guys, no Ed Oliver in this game. We're waiting for Rousseau to step up and make some big plays. Rodgers can't move.
Cannot
Rousseau's
move.
got to do something.
Can't move. The offensive line stinks, and interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich isn't going to change that. What they may get a little bit help with Moses coming back on the offensive line. This is still a 41-year-old quarterback who struggles to move, who's coming off a torn Achilles, that this is the game. If there's ever a game for Greg Rousseau to show up, to prove that he's worthy of the 5th-year option, to prove that he's worthy of a big second contract, it has to be games like this. There's no other way getting around it. The Jets can't run the ball very well right now. It's going to be on Rodgers. There will be energy because of the coaching change. I
Yeah.
understand that. I get that. Take it out. Take the energy out of this horrible NFL stadium behind me and set the tone. We talk about Deion setting the tone on the offensive line. I'm looking around. No Ed Oliver. You're going to be looking for Greg Rousseau to show up.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets help behind him, you know, where maybe Taryn comes back this
Yep.
week. Taylor Rapp looks like he's back for this week.
Yep.
But you need a pass rush. Rodgers can't move. You give him time,
He'll beat you.
he can still throw the football. And by the way, Dan mentions this stadium
Sucks.
Sorry, for New York City, it's nothing special. It's boring, and it has the worst turf in the NFL.
Yes.
So
Well,
it's got
yeah,
all those things going for
Yeah, I
it.
didn't want to bring up turf, but
No,
yeah,
it is.
It's just the most boring piece of metal circular thing around.
They could have made it so much cooler here, and they didn't. Now, you mentioned the Jets haven't run the ball.
Nope.
They're not a good running team. They have Brees Hall. All of you guys who play fantasy football, Brees Hall was top 10 pick,
Yeah.
top 5, depending on where you're taking running
Yeah.
backs. He's averaging 3 yards a carry.
Yep.
Is it not a commitment to the run where they just can't do it?
Well, he's not Aaron Rodgers' best friend, so I don't think he wants to
Yeah,
hand
he never
the ball.
played for the Packers.
Yes, those
Right.
those are two things. Yeah, he hasn't run the ball well. Bills haven't stopped the run very well either. So for as much as you think about Aaron Rodgers and all of the circus that comes around with him and his Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame legacy, it is stopping. It does start with stopping Brees Hall to make Aaron Rodgers one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because I would hate to have Aaron Rodgers with time because of play action and all those things. So it does start with that mentality that McDermott talked about. And I thought it was a little bit better against Houston. I didn't think they got really beaten up on the ground, but it's continuing that. What did Sean say about like wanting to dominate the line of scrimmage? And we know that's what Sean loves. It was what we saw in Miami. It's what we saw against Jacksonville, like getting back to that, controlling that line of scrimmage and stopping Brees Hall from having him have a breakout game this year. Because you know he has the talent.
Look, we talk about the run game, and both of us believe in analytics, and I do realize you do need to throw the ball to score, all those things. But take the numbers out for a minute. running the football, playing a physical brand of football has an impact on your team and has an impact on the other team. Doesn't mean you need to run it 45 times a game. But if you can run the ball, or in this case, if the defense can stop the run, you earn the right to rush the passer. It's the difference between, hey, look at even Houston, because they weren't running the ball well. They're constantly in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, which they converted against the Bills, which was bad. But in this case, you have to put them in those spots. They will. With football guy Jeff Ulbrich as the head coach, he is going to want to run the football.
Absolutely.
That's what they're going to want to do and set things up for Rodgers. So let's see about Breece Hall. It is kind of wild. 3 yards a carry is absurdly low for a back of his quality.
And you would just hate to have the Breece Hall breakout game be Monday night.
All right, so we're going to go one end to the other. We started with Josh Allen. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. For a brief moment, let's just talk about him as a football player. He can still throw a great ball.
Back shoulder throws are still unguardable.
He has Garrett Wilson, who should be getting the ball more, can beat one-on-one coverage. Not a burner, but can run.
He's never had a really big game against the Bills. He caught the touchdown against Trey White, which was the fluky bounce and kind of broke up the pass. But a tactician, he is a true number 1 wide receiver. And he still needs to be respected by that. But he's not Rodgers' best friend, so Rodgers throws to Allen Lazard more.
He loves throwing to Lazard. They have not gotten
who's a solid number 2.
He is. He's a good player.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be the guy. And you're thinking, I mean, this kid had 1,000 yards with freaking Garrett Wilson throwing him the ball.
Zach
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my Wilsons.
Yeah.
With Zach Wilson throwing him the ball. And now you got Rodgers. He should be feeding him. By the way, if they don't want to throw him the ball, send him to Buffalo because the Bills would take him. So that's Rodgers that way. He does not move particularly well. But there will be moments he can make throws, and he will make those throws. He'll also put the ball up for grabs.
I love being critical of Aaron Rodgers and nitpicking him because his smug face and his antics and his, oh, golly me, I didn't know that there was a rift between the head coach and I'm not on social media and all this stuff is complete BS. And he threw some interceptions against the Vikings. Elite defense right now that Minnesota is playing at this level. But he's banged up too. The knee was on the injury report. Obviously he's going to play, but he's a statue. And to keep him in the pocket, to get after him, I just think is imperative for the Bills' success. You stop the run, that's great. Then guys like Greg Rousseau and A.J. Epinesa and Dwayne Smoot can pin their ears back and just set a bullseye on 12.
Yeah, that's going to be the key to this game.
Or 8.
Yes, he is. He's 8.
Sorry.
That's going to be the key to this game, turning the ball over to. It's been a problem. What did Whitehead have 3 interceptions against Josh last year? Can't turn the ball over. Allen has not turned the ball over, but it's big against the Jets and the way they play. They've got Sauce. They've got Reed. They're good in the secondary. I think this is a lower scoring game, but I think it is imperative that you do not give them short fields.
Bonus extra players for you. Obviously, we can talk about the injury reports yesterday. James Cook, Khalil Shakir, Taron Johnson, all listed as questionable. ESPN's Adam Schefter comes out and says, according to his agency, James Cook is expected to play, which is good news. Curtis Samuel is off the injury report. He appears good to go. And then Khalil is the iffy one.
Yeah.
He did practice on a limited basis for the first time since he injured his ankle in Baltimore. I think he goes. I thought he looked pretty good in the Saturday practice. It would be a huge lift for this offense. We talked about it on the channel. So the injury reports. And then Taron is, again, questionable as well. But he was out of the red non-contact jersey this week. I think that's a good sign because everybody then kind of gets to play back to their role instead of having to play over themselves. And then finally, we talked about it on the live show. We talked about it on the podcast. Dalton Kincaid needs to do something.
Yeah.
To me, there's been no more disappointing player this season than Dalton Kincaid coming in with the expectations that he has. And this needs to be a game that if Khalil can't go, and if he's not even 100%, this needs to be the 7 for 70 in a touchdown game.
Yeah, that's what they expect in year number 2. He was good last year. He's been pretty mediocre this year. And his quarterback needs him. So let's see if it gets done. All right, that's going to do it for us. Right now, we will have pregame, 6:30 to 7 Eastern time from the field behind us. the lousy field they have here behind us. We will be down there. And then, of course, the post-game story that'll be posted on Tuesday morning, first thing in the morning. Be ready for that. And Jenna is back at the station. She's taking care of things there.
Yep.
She will be involved in our show tomorrow or Sunday night, depending on Monday night when you're watching this. Monday night at 6:30, leading into the game. My days are all screwed up because I'm in New Jersey.
Happy birthday.
I know. 35 again.
35. Unbelievable.
I keep hitting it.
Birthday boy for Catalana.
Oh, and I'm
gets
back in
suspended.
Jersey,
Yeah.
spending it with Dan. Look
Yeah.
at that. Here we go. All right, that's going to do it for us. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Buffalo Plus.
Happy birthday, Cat.